Hello and welcome to the Aftermath Podcast. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by Dylan.
Hello, it's me.
And he's got a wee bit of the sniffles.
Yeah. In it. Yeah, I am evidently suffering from some sort of allergen.
Oh,
And
it
it
does
is
the
attacking
best.
me.
Nothing like it being 100 and some degrees outside and you got the sniffles, right?
I'm in hell right
Yeah.
now. This is what hell is.
My body feels atrocious.
Yep. The grog consumes.
Oh no, I don't know if I like that.
Well,
I don't know.
the grog.
The grog. No. The phrase "the grog consumes."
Well, it was a play on the rot consumes.
I know. Well, even better. Both of those are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Ugh.
sending good vibes to Dylan and his.
Right.
And his
It's okay. Nothing heals me better than watching some superhuman aliens duke it out.
man, what? Okay. So, for those of you who have read the title, you know what this is going to be about.
Ian's out of his element.
I am.
I'm going to be carrying this episode.
But I'm telling you what.
Sick though I may be.
I have some things to say.
Oh, I'm sure. Your input on anything Dragon Ball is like tantalizing to me. I have
Really?
to know. Yes.
Okay.
Because that's why I wanted to watch like the OG Broly films after you had seen like the new one.
Right.
Just to see like how the characters started.
Right. Because the new version of Broly's cool.
He's great. Super
cool.
He's so nice. I don't think I ever got your take comparing the two, like which one you may prefer over the other.
I like the vibe of the original Broly because it's like has the classic feel to it, and I think I see where the inspiration came from for like the character. Because in the new one, do we get to see him in like his full like shirtless yellow hair form?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. But in the original, we don't really.
Oh no, we do.
Okay.
In the original, that's like his first foray.
Okay.
Starts more or less the same way, only not.
Yeah.
King Vegeta still gets jealous over Broly's power level as an infant.
Yeah.
And sees fit to stab a baby to death.
Hell yeah.
And kill his father and leave them to rot.
Yep.
Of course, this doesn't kill them. They they end up escaping.
Right.
Because Broly's just too fucking strong. And let's see. Yeah, he's able to...
I remember liking the newer film better.
Yeah.
I remember liking the progression of it. I think I liked the additional characters that were added because it's been a while since I've watched the original one. But like, I don't think the other two smaller companions.
Oh, Chila and Lemon.
Yeah, they weren't in the. Were they in the original?
Like the new one or
no,
the old one?
The old
OG?
one.
No, they weren't.
That's what I thought. I kind of liked their take on the matter because it felt like they were. I believe we did an episode on.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I talked about it at least in that. But in comparison, I liked their take on it. That like he kind of feels like he's a savage almost,
right?
And they're the ones that are like trying to domesticate him almost,
right? Yeah.
Anyways,
bring him into the fold.
Right. But anyways, so I like the new movie. This, again, I always try to say the title.
Yeah.
We watched Dragon Ball Super,
right.
Superhero.
Oh, that's gonna irk me.
Or for those of you who just want the whole thing, it's Dragon Ball Superhero.
Oh my god, I hate that. Oh, that's so stupid.
Anyways, it's good. It's a good. I mean, it's fun. It's fun for the premise of the film.
Right. It works.
I don't believe that the Broly movie had the kind of CG animated vibe.
It did at some points, but they never went like whole hog with
it. The whole film was like it.
Yeah,
and I kind of
was purdy.
It
liked it. Good.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I could see how someone may be a little like this isn't the kind of the OG feeling of it.
Yeah.
But I thought the application was really well done.
Yeah. Dude, we got to see, like in the intro sequence, we got to see all of those beautifully reanimated instances from like Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
beautiful. I wish we could have a whole show that looked like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But I doubt that'll ever come to fruition, unfortunately.
Right. So as Dylan had said at the top of the episode, I'm a little outside my element because I haven't seen anything but bits and pieces of this series of
He's
Dragon
seen a
Ball.
couple of movies.
Yeah. Well, I have seen it. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I want to say either one of either the classic Broly or the new Broly film I've watched multiple times.
Oh yeah, we've seen the new one multiple times.
Yeah,
and then we watched the first and second OG Broly movies.
Right, at least once. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's been twice that I've watched those. But I could be wrong. Or I may have sat in while you were showing someone else that. Anyways, regardless, the most Dragon Ball I've ever seen has been the things regarding Broly.
Just a teeny little slice.
Yeah. But I obviously have watched you play
Fighters.
So
often.
A lot. There was a point in time where you used to, Before Strive,
I started bunking with you.
Before Strive and before Grand Blue and like a whole bunch of other like fighting games.
That was the big one.
That was the big one. It was either that or Xrd. Mm-hmm. But I feel like you played Fighters more. Yeah. So anyways, I have had secondhand knowledge of characters because you'll pick a character or you'll show a character and show me their moveset and I'm like, oh cool. What is their relation?
What's the backstory?
Yeah. What's their relation with such and such character? Right. Or again, there's like a cinematic finish where there's like a little scene out of the movies or shows, and it's like, it's really cool. So there's been moments where I've been able to peek behind the curtains, and there is a large. I don't want to say large. There's a pretty extensive family tree in this show.
Oh yeah.
Of characters get married, apparently have kid or kids.
Yeah.
And then of course now we're at the point now where like kids are having kids.
Right.
So like Goku is potentially a grandfather at this point.
He is, yeah.
And it's like crazy to think about because obviously he doesn't look like he's aged at all.
Saiyans keep their youthful glow for longer than us pitiful humans.
Yes.
It's such a fucking sham, dude. That's unfair.
So anyways, I'm trying to learn like who's married to whose kid is who, whose brother is who. Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Just get everything organized before I get a good idea of this.
I know this character. I've seen them. I'm learning their names, but now I'm like, but now what is their relation to like the party as a whole? And of course,
I did the same thing with Gundam that I'm doing with Dragon Ball right now. So I'm showing Ian the cool new shit.
Yes.
Like the hypest like new stuff that's coming out.
The prettiest stuff, yeah.
And then I'm going to be like, hey, you want to watch this super old show that came out?
You want to watch the original series 90s? From the like 90s? I'm like, yeah, sure.
It's like, okay, I mean, is it going to be as cool as the new stuff? It's like, I mean, yeah.
It's going to be kind of wacky.
Its own way.
Yeah. You want to see Goku as a child run around in a fart cloud?
Oh my god! Don't you ever call Nimbus that again.
There's a couple of shots where I've seen it where it just looks like a green cloud, and it's always like, it looks a little weird. Anyways.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry for anybody that I upset. I didn't mean to. I am ignorant and have not seen the show, and I don't have an appreciation for Nimbus like I should.
Dragon Ball started off as more of a gag show.
Of course, I think I can tell.
Yeah.
From what little bit I've seen of that show, I think you watched a portion of it with Chase, and I saw some stuff, and of course you got like the old pervy guy. Who's,
Master Roshi.
Right. So it's like you got like I know what we're doing here. Right. I've seen some OG Naruto where it's like, okay, we're really
the humble and silly beginnings.
Exactly. So anyways, I'm getting a pretty good backstory of like the characters and stuff like that. And of course, we have a friend of ours named Kobe, and I really want to get Kobe on the show. And I feel like the best way to get him on the show is going to be something Dragon Ball related, because that guy knows his stuff and I think that I would go out on a limb and say he's a pretty big fan of Dragon Ball stuff. At least is what it comes across as.
Yeah.
Because whenever he hypes it up and when he's talking about it, I'm like, bruh, I want to watch whatever he's describing because it seems legit.
Dude, I've shown you a couple scenes, like that initial beam struggle between Goku and Vegeta.
Yes.
Whenever he like first comes to Earth and just starts wrecking shit.
Right.
And dude, the Kaioken Kamehameha is easily my favorite fucking thing in the whole show.
Right.
Because the way the Kaioken works is that it gives you a real big boost in speed and power, but it takes a really big toll on your body. Like, you will be left fatigued. This will take years off your lifespan.
Really?
Type shit. Yes. I love trade-off techniques like that.
Interesting.
Because, I mean, when you get it going, it's so fucking cool. Because he uses it in bursts in his fight with Vegeta the first go-around. Vegeta's like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah.
And it's so cool to see him get so caught off guard by this supposed earthling country bumpkin.
Yeah.
And he's just getting his shit rocked. And
Crazy.
that final stretch, he's pushed over the edge like, I ain't having this no more. I'm going to blow up the fucking planet.
Yeah.
And he rears up and gets ready to fire off the Gallic gun.
Okay.
And Goku's like, stop.
Nope.
So he's already like at the end of his rope. He's thrown everything he has at Vegeta at this point.
Right.
So he's like, I gotta risk it. A 3 times Kaioken Kamehameha. That's the only thing that could possibly beat this motherfucker right now. Now, he fires off this thing, and you would think he is dying.
Yeah.
The way he screams.
Of course.
And it is so fucking cool. I could go on and on.
Right.
Now, he's able to, like, keep it at bay, but he's just like, I cannot believe this fucking dude right now.
This absolute imbecile
He's
is
beside
showing
himself.
me up.
This
right
fucking
now.
clown
Yeah.
from nowhere.
This buffoon is showing me
it's
up.
amazing.
A prince. Is he a prince at that time?
Yes, he's a prince.
Got it.
Well, dethroned since his planet got blown up, but he still carries himself with that sort of posh attitude.
Yeah.
But he's just a fighting, and Goku whips out the for the blooms. he goes ahead and throws out a ×4, and that's the ticket.
There you go.
That's able to overpower Vegeta's beam and send him into the stratosphere.
Damn.
Of course, it didn't end there, but
right.
God damn that moment, dude.
There's 2 things I want to say. First being that there is, I've noticed something, is that anime or shows in particular that just one-up itself really feel like it's in your wheelhouse a little bit. And I don't blame you. It's cool.
Yeah.
For those of you who've been long-time listeners, I'm talking about Gurren Lagann.
Oh, of course.
And we haven't done anything on the show specifically.
Somehow.
But because I want
to we gotta wait for Ethan for those.
You're right. And I want to do it justice too. Because a lot of the things that we haven't done that I want to get around to, it's because I'm like, how do we execute this and execute it well? Because I want it to be done well. I want to give it its time in the sun because it deserves it. But that is an anime that I believe I've said on the show before. It goes one step up, and then by the time the next episode or the next season goes one step up again.
Oh yeah.
And then before you know it,
ceaseless escalation.
Exactly. It never goes down, only up. Until
That's the only way to go.
Right, exactly.
Pierce the heavens, bro.
Exactly. And I won't say that Dragon Ball is exactly like that, but I think it does follow the same monochrome of like, we're here.
Right.
We're going to go here, up one step, and then we're just going to keep on going until the fight is over, and then we all come back down.
Right. Just take a rest.
Yeah, right,
nice
exactly.
little breather.
Right. And then of course,
keep yourself sharp.
Yeah.
But no reason to go all out.
It's this gradient scale that only goes up during a fight, and then we all come down.
Oh yeah.
And I've noticed that, and I noticed it in this film specifically, where I was like, I have seen this in the Broly films. I've seen this in other stuff or whatever, but I was like, I think I understand why this is really up your alley.
Oh, of course.
What was the other thing I was going to say?
That was number 1.
Right. I had 2 things I wanted to say. It'll probably come back to me. We were talking about Kobe, and of course, like, he really knows his stuff, and he would really love. And so I want to try and get him on the show and do something Dragon Ball related.
Oh, yeah. I've got all the movies. I've got at least the first few seasons of Z.
Yeah.
I still need to find like a good set to just have the whole show with. And not like, because I mean, apparently the release, like physical releases for that show have been mired in like shitty versions.
Oh, really?
Which I didn't find out about until recently, unfortunately, because I've already got like 2, maybe 3 of those box sets, like the big orange ones.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. I need to narrow it down, see which one's the best to go with. Because I remember once upon a time, me and you went to an FIE in Lafayette, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a box set, the entire series of Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
It was really nice, too. Going for hundreds.
Yikes.
So I was like, we'll just hold off on that for now. But, oh, man, part of me wishes I would have picked it up then and there.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that the other thing that I was going to talk about was with the characters. It was with fighters, and I want to say that there was another thing. It was either, I think it was through other media or something like that you had shown me stuff, and I've been like slowly learning about the characters through other ways as well. Mm-hmm. That you've like told me about the series and about other characters and stuff.
Right.
And so, I remember what it was. Once upon a time, you showed me some sort of like funny, like comedic.
Oh my god! It was
dub
the Team
over.
4-star dub of the Broly movie.
You did it. You showed me something, and you're gonna beat yourself up over this.
Oh no!
I'm pretty sure you showed me that before you showed me the actual original.
Fuck!
Yeah. So the first thing I ever saw, and I want to say the first full thing I ever saw for Dragon Ball was that.
Oh my god!
Somebody,
where's my gun?
Somebody
shoot me right now.
So
holy shit!
First,
I mean, it was funny.
It is funny. It is funny. But the thing is, like, I thought that was the real thing because I never say that. So I was like, this is a lot more comedic than I thought it was supposed to be, and there's like a lot of like serious tension that we're still kind of like joking through. And I was I mean, I get it.
Oh my god!
But then afterwards, you showed me the real thing, and I was like, what was that other thing you showed me? He's like, oh, that was like a comedic dub over. And I was like, oh, interesting. But anyway, there was a phrase in it that stuck with me.
Yeah.
And it always stuck with me. And I feel like every time anything regarding regarding Dragon Ball, I always bring it up. And it was this little character or this other character. He always goes,
one of the aliens.
He always goes, Piccolo, help!
Yeah. Oh wait, no, okay, yeah. Gohan in that abridged series is detrimentally hapless.
Yes,
because most of the time he is in the actual show.
Right.
Now, because of his relationship with Piccolo, as being like mentor and student, I would say he sees him as like a surrogate father because.
Of course.
For most of Gohan's early life, he has been dead.
Right.
So yeah, any time there was something Gohan couldn't handle, it felt like Piccolo was there to save the day.
Right.
Or at least give him a hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been a running gag.
There was a couple times in that abridged version, particularly, where like there's like a young Gohan running around doing something or whatever, and he just goes,
or getting his ass kicked.
He just goes, Piccolo, help!
Yeah.
And of course,
in seconds,
there's Piccolo.
Piccolo appears.
So even before I knew who Piccolo was, that's all I ever knew him as.
Yeah.
And so anytime I saw his character, I would just say that because that just it fit.
Yeah, it works.
And even in this, there was a situation in this film where, in particular, where something happens. I'm jumping ahead in the movie, but there's a point in time where like there's a situation or whatever, and in particular, I did a little callback and yelled out Piccolo help, and of course there he comes out of nowhere,
right? As he is wont to do.
Right, exactly. I'm pretty sure at that point he flexes and bursts his disguise off.
Oh my god!
And he's in his regular attire. So
good.
It was great. But anyways, enough with I guess the intro of all this.
Yeah. That was just the intro.
Well, I mean, or the setup.
Right,
obviously,
right.
This movie
establishment.
This movie kind of speaks for itself. If you don't know Dragon Ball, obviously you're probably going to be lost.
Yeah.
But also, I don't really know Dragon Ball, and I think I was able to hold my own.
Yeah. If he can do it, so can you.
Exactly. I know all the buzzwords. I know all the main characters.
Right.
Again, honestly, the thing I had the most questions of, I was like, wait, whose wife is that? And he's like, that's...
whose kid is that?
Right, exactly. Whose kid is that?
Right.
Wait. That's Goku's granddaughter? Right, got it. Sweet.
Oh, man.
And wait, Krillin's here? He's alive? Because last I checked...
He's alive?
Because last I checked, he was supposed to be dead.
That's fair. He dies quite a bit.
Right, so that's another thing. I didn't know that he was the significant other of Android 18.
Right.
So
God.
I've only ever known Android 18 as like
what a fucking roller coaster that shit is.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounds like a can of worms I don't want to open yet.
We'll get it. We'll get there.
Oh, trust me. But anyways, the kind of the premise of this movie is like the I don't want to say redemption. It's not like he had to be redeemed, but it's like the
reinvigoration.
The reinvigoration of Gohan.
Yes. Which I don't know if you know, but many people in the fan base, myself included, have been waiting for something to go right with Gohan and Piccolo.
Really?
Those are the two most neglected. No, sorry, that's not fair because there's a shit ton of other characters that are neglected. But I mean, this was nice. It was a nice little, like, hey, we didn't forget about him like we have for the past few decades.
Right. Well, this felt like I don't know if it was supposed to, but it felt like a really great Piccolo Gohan movie. I loved it a lot. We start off the film.
No, they're not useless anymore.
Right. We start off with Gohan's 3-year-old daughter. Is it Pan?
Pan.
Mm-hmm. And again, so we start off with this young child dancing around and trying to like learn
training with Piccolo,
Saiyan type stuff,
right?
And I instantly I'm like, so wait, who
are they?
Yeah, wait. Who's this young child?
Right, because you had never seen Pan up to that point.
No,
except for when she was a baby in. Oh wait, no, that was Bulla. But yeah, this is the first time you've seen Pan as a character.
Right. I knew of the character. Is it Videl?
Yes, Videl.
Okay, I want to make sure I was pronouncing it right. And wait, am I wrong in that Gohan is the one that has like a superhero alias that he goes by?
The Great Saiyan Man.
The Great Saiyan Man. Oh, no way.
Oh, it's so funny.
Because isn't it in Fighters you can play as like him and like his little companion that can like jump out is Videl like.
No, you got it other way around.
You
can play as Videl and she can call in Gohan as the Great Saiyan Man for assists.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It's so funny.
That is funny.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into I don't want to open that can of worms because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a great story there.
We're working with what we got right now.
But I'm laying a foundation here. Like I think it would be nice to understand who's who's in the know, and then of course I'll start getting some understanding. I forgot that Goku had a second son.
Yes, Goten.
Goten. And is he like the same age as Trunks? Is that kind of what
He's a bit younger than Trunks.
Okay.
But not by much.
Right.
So those two end up being the most dynamic duo there ever was.
Yeah, I can tell.
Be with them forming Gotenks.
Which is kind of a funny thing having Vegeta's son and Gohan's son be like a dynamic duo.
Oh, of course.
Kind of a funny turn of events. And does Goku have any more children? Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Want to make sure that was not a stray third child.
Of course. Yep. Motherfuckers only got 2 at the moment.
Okay. So anyways, we start off this film with Piccolo.
Nice little training montage.
Of course, is like being the surrogate father in a way.
The guardian angel, the Godfather.
Exactly.
of Gohan's family.
What was his title? Demon King.
The
Demon
King
King.
Piccolo. That's what he went by in Dragon Ball whenever he was going through that whole villain phase.
Love it.
Until until bigger threats came along.
He chose to take the higher path.
Oh, of course. Whether he wanted to or not, basically. But, circumstances demanded and what have you.
Right.
But
and
yeah,
so
we just been doing a little bit of babysitting.
Right.
While the parents are busy.
And then we get this establishing sequence of like the Red Ribbon company.
God,
Is it company or society? Army. Whoa. Yep. Even worse.
Like the first villains we come across in Dragon Ball.
Really?
Yeah. Just this militia bent on world domination.
Interesting.
So
I didn't know any of that.
Oh yeah, that's fine. If the intro sequence was anything to go by, you can gather that Goku nipped that shit in the bud in the original series.
I see.
And they were assumed to be no more.
Right. I grasped that like this was supposed to be a thing that wasn't anymore.
Right.
That is now back, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, they elaborate on what the hell Dr. Gero did by creating Cell and 17 and 18, as well as Android 16, which was his son.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We if anybody has gone through the story mode for fighters, now if that's any indication, fighting game story modes usually, whatever.
Right.
Bunch of goofy shit that I'm happy about more often than not because they're so crazy. But they added a new character called Android 21, which apparently was Gero's wife.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That crotchety old fuck.
Made himself a wife.
Ridiculous.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because doesn't she turn into like a...
Right, she turns into a Majin.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I don't think it's elaborated on. She probably uses some sort of extraction of DNA, perhaps an essence of Majin Buu for that endless hunger she's so known for.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But barring that, which was a fucking sidewinder, if you ask me, it explains like the story up to this point, not in great detail, but just pertaining to the Red Ribbon Army and how Commander Red's son, Magenta, is now the current leader.
I made the joke at the top. I was like, and Commander Red's son, slightly less red.
Pink. Has been keeping the army going under wraps, like behind a pharmaceutical company.
Right.
So they're still up and running, doing their nefarious scheming and whatnot.
Yeah.
Somehow under the radar of everyone else. But then again, I guess they've had more pressing matters to deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
There's also like around their base is like this interesting cloaking device thing.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of keeps it all secret.
Right. Barely. I mean, they still have like a shit ton of billboards and everything around the place with their logo, but I'm sure that's just a front. And they're still... Now, when I say disguised, this shit is like thinly veiled.
Oh, yeah.
They've still got the same logo, just with different letters.
Yeah.
It's insane, but I mean, not what I would have.
Right. And I guess if they're not doing anything pressing right now, it's like, okay, I guess
they haven't made any major moves. They're just chilling out, gathering their strength.
You got the same logo, you know, but you're not trying to conquer the world.
Right. No one would be any the wiser.
Exactly, yeah. You're just minding your own business, looking a little sus in the corner.
Right. Goku's not going to remember you.
No.
He's got the memory of a goldfish.
He hardly remembers his son.
Oh, my God. Ooh. Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah.
But we found out that Dr. Gero had I want to say it was a nephew?
I believe so.
Yeah, his nephew, Dr. Hedo, who is still a super genius, but doesn't quite share his uncle's villainous viewpoint.
Right.
I mean,
in fact,
to a degree.
Quite the contrary, I would say.
He's big into superheroes.
Yeah.
Justice above all else and whatnot.
Right. Which, I mean, I can get behind.
Oh, of course. Now, the funny thing is, Magenta is able to scout this dude and get a hold of him.
Right.
And explain this crazy ass, like, I'm not even telling you, like, backwards conspiracy theory involving the Capsule Corporation, Bulma, and the Saiyans. Now, he's right about some things.
Right.
He's actually noticed that there are just flying people going to and from these different facilities, and nobody's talking about it. It's like,
right.
Like, okay,
it's real.
You got some basic.
It really starts to tiptoe into like conspiracy theory territory. Where it's like you have, just like with conspiracy theories, there's always like a sliver of truth or a sliver of evidence,
and then it's just crazy.
And then you expand upon it, upon like given context or like potential thoughts or feelings about certain stuff.
You draw some conclusions without having all the info.
Right. And then before you know it, you're like, you're not 100% wrong, but
there's
definitely
a few things in there that I that I don't think are going to be
quite as
up to snuff,
quite as organized as you think they are.
Right. But this motherfucker thinks he's got it down packed.
Oh yeah.
Of course, he wants the success of his company and conquest of the world still, but the way he spins this shit to this poor kid is so funny to me, because he plays them off like they're all super villainous, like
aliens,
world conquerors here to take over the world and suit their own needs.
At one point, they're like, "Why didn't he?" He's an intelligent kid. And it's like, why don't they just like wipe us out? And he's like, well, because they want to use us all as their slave labor.
Right.
And then whenever they have us all underneath their thumb, then they're going to just wipe us out and take over whenever all the rest of their people come in.
Yeah.
And it's like,
they're the first wave.
Oh, right.
Like, okay. Now, Goku may have started off that way.
Right.
That's what he was supposed to do.
Right.
But thanks to that little bump on the noggin, he turned out pretty docile.
Is that
still has the same capacity to fight, though?
Is that
yes? That is what happened. He was sent to Earth by his parents.
Right.
Now, he's gonna do what all little Saiyan children do whenever they're sent to a world: is just create wanton destruction and get rid of the native life so that they can sell it for the highest bid. But as soon as his grandpa Gohan found him, he started to raise him like a normal child, but he was real rowdy, real rough and tumble.
Mm-hmm.
Until one day when he was hiking up a trail, Goku fell out of his little backpack and bumped his head on a rock.
No.
And after that, he was fine.
He was just
a normal
kid.
little baby boy. Just still super strong.
Just dumb as can be.
Right. Yeah. Yep, that's pretty much how it happened.
And so that's the original like Dragon Ball.
Yes.
Got it. And that's canon now.
Yes.
Got it.
That is just what happened.
Wow.
So yeah.
Kakarot.
Yeah, fucking jeez Louise. It's crazy, man. But it turned out for the better, more or less.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, world's still going pretty strong. Everything's
It could have definitely ended a lot worse.
Oh yeah, we would all be dead.
Right, precisely.
Yeah, but thankfully that didn't happen.
Right.
And he grew up real strong, learned the martial arts, entered a few tournaments, won a few prizes, and defeated the Demon King Piccolo twice.
Got it.
Yeah. So after that, I want to say that's what actually happened. Now, he was able to convince Dr. Edo that this is real.
Right.
He was able to spin it just right to where everything made sense.
And he also coerced him with a line of Oreos.
Yeah, some Oreos. As long as you got plenty of cookies and you give me a limitless budget, I'll do whatever you want, all right?
You're right. Hey, I mean, I'm down too.
Yeah, you give me free reign to make some awesome, like, superhero androids, and we're in business.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You give me a limitless budget and a line of Oreos.
You better believe.
I'll be down for anything.
Yeah.
I'll make your dreams come true. Trust me.
Destroy us.
Yeah.
Fucking whatever, bro.
Bet I won't.
Exactly. So once he's on board, shit starts moving along smooth as butter.
Right.
He makes 2 androids in the Gamma series, numbers 1 and 2. Now,
cool duo.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I like them.
dynamic would be an understatement.
Yeah, right. I also don't mind their costumes.
Yeah, I think they look good.
They look pretty good.
Yeah.
They fit like a quote unquote like superhero aesthetic.
Yeah.
In a way, but they're not like too
nothing
cheesy.
Yeah, I don't say so. But Gamma number 2 decides to test out his abilities,
right.
See what kind of limits he's got going on against Piccolo.
Right.
Who, after taking care of Pan for a bit, brought her to preschool and is scheduled to pick her up at 1. And this poor motherfucker.
He has had to raise more children than I think he should have had to.
I know, it's ridiculous. He's a glorified babysitter.
I don't even know Piccolo that well. I'm like, bro, you deserve better. But at the same time, what a great father figure.
It suits him. He does a good job.
You know what? Yeah, it is what it is. I love how he holds the phone. Anytime he ever accesses a phone, have you, for any of those who have watched Death Note, I just want you to hold your phone like you normally would, but then just grasp it by the top two corners.
Yeah, with your index finger.
Right. And then
just hold it in front of you.
Right, exactly. Just he holds it in front of him. Obviously, L from Death Note would hold it to the side of him. Anytime he was always crouched up in his chair. He would always hold it like that. So I just felt like every time I watched it, it was always like Gohan was like. I mean, anytime Piccolo was holding his phone, it just reminded me of L.
Yeah,
just
being, strictly video calls.
It's just being real weird.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But anyways, he's trying to communicate with Videl and Gohan about
what time to pick up Pan,
what time to pick up their daughter.
What he's been up to.
He calls Videl first, and he's like, "Where's Gohan at?" She's like, "Oh, you know how it is. He's at home.
He's just
doing
working
research
on a thesis."
He's like,
why?
Hell no. Why is he not picking up his daughter,
his own child? This is just like his fucking dad. What is this shit?
Yeah. He shows up to the house, and of course, instead of knocking on the window, he just
drags a fingernail down the window like a chalkboard.
Gohan's like, "What are you doing here?" What are you doing?
Oh man, it's like I'm working on my new thesis for these ants that I found. It's like, what? Go pick up your daughter.
Super Saiyans.
Oh my god.
Oh,
it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
So, of course, he's like, when are you going to start training again, you little bitch? You look like a nerd.
Right.
It's like, well, I mean, there's not really a reason to anymore. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, right.
You don't mind if I test you then real quick, would you?
Right.
Throws a couple punches. He blocks the first one. Didn't think I was getting rusty. And then he just nails him in the gut. It's like, oh.
Gotcha, bitch.
Right. So he clothes beams him some training gear.
Right.
Like in the olden days.
Yep.
And he's just wearing that for the rest of the day while he writes his thesis.
Right.
It's insane.
Shoulder pads and a cape.
Right. I need me one of those.
Yeah.
I got to give me a Piccolo fit.
That I love.
Doorways are going to be an issue.
I like the term Piccolo fit.
Yes. Because, I mean, dude, it's such a good look.
It feels very intrinsic to the Dragon Ball aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. So after he takes his ear off for a bit, he's able to get back to his training, which would be meditating and levitating this big ass rock on the plateau.
Right, this platform.
And then Gamma shows up, and the fight ensues from. And it's a good start.
Yeah,
that's a good fight.
It is.
He is able to overpower Piccolo a bit, and supposedly vaporizes him with this big ass blast.
Right.
Of course, he doesn't just see that Piccolo was able to escape.
Right.
But
and the preface of all this is like the Gamma 2 keeps talking in code. How he's like, I'm like a classified being.
Right.
I can't, before you even ask me who I am or what I am.
Can't tell you nothing.
Can't tell you nothing. But he makes it very clear that I'm the hero and I'm here to do justice for your evil doings. And Piccolo's like, bro, what?
Maybe back then.
Yeah, right.
Because he calls him Demon King Piccolo.
Right, and he's like, that. I'm not called that anymore.
Haven't been, that guy's long gone, bro.
Right.
And of course he's not having it. He's just following his orders.
Right.
So after that little exchange, they duke it out.
Yeah.
I think my favorite bit about the Gammas is that anytime they are able to land a punch, there is a straight up, like, I'm talking Adam West Batman sound effect that pops up.
Yes, a comic book kabow in the back. Yeah.
It's amazing. So, of course, like, Piccolo's just like, what the hell is this? How come I can see that shit?
Yeah, for a second, I thought he broke the fourth wall, but I think it's actually in universe.
Oh, yeah, it's like an actual projection.
Like, he gets hit around, and he's on the ground, he's like, why can I see their punches?
I was like, oh, that's just real.
Yeah, that's just in there.
Yeah. I can't remember if there was, like, an actual explanation for it or, like, a reason other than the cool factor, quote unquote.
I think that there's a moment whenever I almost said Unit 2. whenever Gamma 2 is back at the secret base, and what's the kid's name? Hedo looks over there and is like, I was looking at everything through your eyes, and I think next time that you land the final blow, you should strike a cool pose. That would be more heroic,
right?
And of course, then like in a few more scenes later,
he tries it out.
He's
workshopping that
right,
shit.
right. He's like workshopping these things, and of course, behind him, like just askew, like the screen, like you see like the and it kind of like the little like
the effects are popping off. This like looks like an actual explosion behind him.
Kazoom, kapow, and it's like happening behind him.
And he's pitching him to Gamma 1, just trying to get his input. And of course, he's like, "That is
Gamma
what
1.
The fuck are you doing?"
Gamma 1 seems pretty straight laced.
He's a straight
like,
man.
He's like, I'm not gonna. Yeah, cool.
That's not cool, dude.
It's whatever. You could do better.
Right, stoicism would be his main
There
play.
you go.
But between the two, I think they make a really nice like duo. I really like them.
Yeah, Unit. Oh gosh, I really didn't mean to.
It's okay.
Yeah, Gamma 2 definitely feels like a little more comedic, a little more lively.
Right.
They both, like, I wouldn't say that Gamma 1 is like not playful in any way.
Right. He's got the spirit. You just got to draw that shit out.
It just feels he's more calculated.
Right. Subdued.
Right. Gamma 2 is a little more wily.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he feels like the one that would like go out to go stretch his legs to go fight Piccolo.
Right.
They just
of all people,
just to go try it out.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but the characters are kind of they're a little arrogant at first, but you're almost like they feel kind of like the antagonists. You're like, like they're fun, they're cool,
works.
but it works. They're a little cocky. It's whatever.
They're the new kids on the block.
Right. But for me, they kind of grew on me as the show progressed.
Definitely.
Especially Hito as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hito is obviously he's a child that has a doctorate,
right,
and can like
a super genius, as he would put it,
and could build androids like his uncle,
like lickety split. I think
or dad, uncle,
yes,
okay.
And
Grunkle.
I want to say the amount of time it took for him to do this was like 3 or 5 months.
Oh, right, yeah.
I remember seeing like a little.
I think it said 3 months later.
Okay, yeah, that's fucking insane.
It is, yeah.
You could just whip him up like that.
Well, but also in his defense, he did have limitless budget,
right?
So I mean,
you can make a lot to work with.
You can make a lot. Imagine having less budget and trying to do that. Be a little hard pressed.
Oh, of course. You know what kind of shit I would make, bro? Oh my god! I'm talking full artificial body, customizable. I could look like whatever the fuck I want.
I wouldn't be surprised if you gave Dylan limitless budget and there was actually technology available to do it. He wouldn't just make a Titan from Titanfall. Just
I would be the first Titan.
Yeah, right. Or probably some sort of like, I would imagine if we're talking about like minor scale, some sort of like exosuit.
I'm thinking at least 8 feet tall.
Oh yeah.
That's my dream. I just want to be a big old robot.
I think I could see Dylan making a labor. And just like making some sort of like practical thing that was like, oh yeah, we could like use these.
If it's anything beneficial, that'd be nice too. But I mean, I just want a cool little robot body.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is that so much to ask?
Is that so much to ask?
But yeah.
But we also get we got our first taste on Cell Max.
Oh god, yeah, he's teased a bit.
Right, he's like
as
in
a
this
fallback.
He's in this like containment area.
still in the oven as Magenta put
it. Yeah, right. Piccolo finds a way to go into some espionage and sneak his way in.
He infiltrates the facility and figures out what's going on.
Right.
After which he gets a hold of Bulma and is like, I need you to get your husband or Goku on this as soon as possible.
Right.
And it's just like, okay, let me just find the communicator for Whis, and I'll get him over here as soon as possible.
Right.
And in the meantime, Piccolo's just like, okay, I'm just gonna lay some groundwork, do what I can. Because in comparison to Goku or Vegeta, Piccolo's is like, pretty far down on the ladder as far as like power levels go.
Right.
But that's why I like this movie so much, is because it actually gives him some more agency.
Right.
Actually brings him back into the spotlight.
Yeah.
Which is super nice. But yeah, after that, we cut back to Beerus's planet.
This is fun.
It's so nice.
I love this.
He, Vegeta, and Broly have got a little 3-way training session going on.
Yeah.
It is so nice to see Broly again.
It is.
And know that he's doing good.
Right. He's healthy and well.
Right. He's still getting the hang of things. He starts going berserk a bit, but Goku's able to rein him in and
right.
make sure he stays conscious.
They try to start like a match, and of course, like Broly immediately goes to starts like busting a hole in the ground. And he's like, "Bro, chill.
Right.
You can't just like
tone it down a bit.
You can't just like jump into the deep end like that. We have to like work it out."
Yeah, they describe it as snapping, like he's got a bad temper.
Right.
And I don't think he can form complete sentences just yet. He's still like on a one-word basis. So he just says accident. Sorry.
Sorry.
And it's so funny.
Gets the point across.
Right, of course.
He's a man of few words, but they mean a lot.
A man of many screams.
Yeah, many screams.
Yes. But he's able to calm down a bit. Vegeta's just sitting on a rock, meditating. And Whis shows up and he proposes that 3-way match at first, but then Goku's like, I don't think Broly should sit this one out.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a good idea. And he's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's fair. I get you.
Right.
So they come up with the rules for this engagement, being that no power-ups, no form changes, no beam attacks. It's all just
fisticuffs. Yeah.
Put up your dukes, hand-to-hand stuff, which I love.
Yeah.
That's the part of the series I like a lot, is like whenever they get right up in each other's faces.
Right.
And do the nitty-gritty, as I call it. But yeah, oh man. I wish I could have seen the rest of that fight.
Oh yeah.
Because they start off like real strong. Like, it's so fucking good.
Of course.
Like, you've been waiting for another match between these two for decades. You've been watching the show like I have. And it was nice.
That's cool.
Now, they cut away from that, unfortunately, because Bulma's still trying to get a hold of Whis and them.
Right.
But as they're going through their whole training sessions, Chi-Lai and Lemo are accompanying Broly because, I mean, they might as well be his security blanket.
Right.
Surrogate aunt
family.
And uncle, we'll say, so while they're keeping him under control, Lemo is cooking a few meals.
Right.
And Chi-Lai is
gathering supplies, I guess, from...
I want to say just taking inventory of everything they brought, just to be sure. As soon as Beerus wakes up, he's like, how long have I been asleep? 4 months. It's like ridiculous.
I can't believe you woke me up.
Yeah, the food is what woke him up.
Yeah, and the sounds. I think is what he said.
Yeah. So, as soon as he sees Chi-Lai...
I found this to be really funny because it's also like I know that they played it up a little bit,
right.
But like there's this moment where Chi-Lai is standing there and like she has her back turned to, is it Beerus?
Yes, Beerus, the god of destruction.
Right. And then
you got to be on your toes if you're meeting this motherfucker for the first
and
time,
she's
because
like,
he can easily just touch you and you're gone.
She's like, you're the most powerful
guy
being
in the universe,
but like turns around with that like ooh like over her shoulder, like saying it or whatever, and Beerus just like stops dead in his tracks. And I love the way in which they showed this is like his skin crawls from the bottom all the way to his feet. It's like this like And he goes, I was like, I like that one. And I was like, right. Damn, like, Beerus.
Oh my God.
I mean, but the thing is, at that point, I mean, if he's the god of destruction, I mean, he could say whatever he wants, but at that point, he's just laying it out flat.
Like a kitten.
Is what it is. And it's like, hey, I just thought it was funny because she was like, what's happening? Everyone's like, what's going on? He's like, let's all go sit down and have some food real quick.
Right.
Laying the Riz down on Chile.
All right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. He's so nice after that.
Oh yeah. He's like, everyone's welcome.
You
Everyone
would not
can
think
chill
he's a god
out.
of destruction after that shit.
It's all fine.
Let's Lemo come and eat some ice cream. Even offer some to fucking Broly.
Yeah.
Who's admittedly too focused on the fight to notice or do anything. Which I thought was neat. What kind of freaked me out was that little chuckle he did. Because that's creeping into like OG Broly territory.
Yeah.
The motherfucker was laughing his ass off as he was just being a sadist, committing atrocities left and right.
Well,
But he's okay. He'll be fine.
The part that I didn't understand is at the end, whenever like the fight was over, why were those two crying?
Because it was such a good fight.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's what I want to make sure.
So invested.
I see.
Just enough to bring a tear to a man's eye.
I see. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought it was. I didn't know if I was missing something.
Nah.
So, okay.
Yeah, we got it.
Right.
So after the cutaway, Bulma's still not getting anything back from Whis. So Piccolo's just like, shit.
Right.
I gotta figure something out. And he goes up to the watchtower or the lookout and is able to get with Dende, and it's like, is there any way that I can get like any kind of boost like the Elder did back on Namek? And he's like, I mean, no, at least not with me.
Yeah.
But we can ask Shenron to do it.
Yeah.
I just got to upgrade him. It's like,
you could just do that?
Upgrade? It's like, well, yeah, I let him do the whole 3-wish deal instead of just one, didn't I? And of course, it's like, the amount of, I forgot in this movie is
it's
fucking
so good.
Amazing.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I did that.
Right. I forgot I could do that. Or I forgot this was there.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, in their perspective, they've probably been around for
of course.
a handful of years.
It's been long enough that no major threats have cropped up.
Right.
But, I mean, it's still just baffling to me.
Of course.
that you wouldn't have this shit on lock.
Right.
But, man. So they're able to figure all that out with Dragon.
Right.
And Piccolo's able to get that nice boost. Everything you are has been boosted plus a little extra. And
I love that.
After that, he doesn't really have a use that he that he remembers at the time. So Bulma just uses the two for basic cosmetic stuff.
Of course, as she always does, apparently.
Ridiculous. Cannot think of a worse use of wish-granting Dragon Balls.
Right.
And
I love how, like, of course, the second the dragon goes away, she goes, "Oh, I could have
wished Vegeta or Goku here."
And of course, there's a little fight that ensues.
Right, they explode.
A little bit of fun.
Yeah.
So basically, I don't want to try and cover up too much of the movie.
No, yeah.
But I really want to.
If I go into detail, I'm gonna be going at a snail's pace.
Right.
Like I said earlier, I can go on and on.
Right. The movie is beautiful. I even love like the soundtrack for some of the stuff is really good as well. Very subtle.
Oh yeah.
But like, there is a whole sequence that like we finally get to the apex of it, and it's they were able to draw out Gohan because they took Van, and of course he almost destroys his house because again of the threats.
He gets so pissed,
of course, justifiably as a dad should. And of course they get to like the main base, and of course Piccolo's still in disguise, and
he was able to get Pan from the preschool,
right,
accompanying this big dude who's just a regular guy.
Right. Number 15 or 13, I forgot.
Right. As soon as he tries to like take Pan, she just phases out and just immediately nails him in the gut.
Right.
And he's out.
Yeah. And then of course,
simple as that.
Piccolo, even with a mask on, walks up and Van goes,
he runs up.
Yeah.
Like,
right. And then of course Van goes, "Oh, hey Piccolo."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I could just sense your energy. It's all good. I know exactly who you are."
Yeah.
And then, of course, he takes his mask off for a second, and she
apologizes to the teacher, which he knows by name.
Yeah, right. And, of course, I'm pretty sure she also goes like, oh, okay, Piccolo.
Right.
What is all this about? He goes, oh, it's just like a routine security thing.
Right.
Don't worry about it. It's all, everything went according to plan.
Easy peasy.
But I'm here for the child. Don't worry. She's safe with me. And she's like, okay, cool. Awesome. And, of course, they drag the body away from this other guy.
Yeah. It's so good.
But anyways, we're setting the stage for like our final battle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this beautiful sequence of events between Gohan and the Gammas, or Gamma 1,
Uh-huh.
Piccolo and Gamma 2 again.
Oh, yeah.
They're going at it. And I love this about this fight is that like the truth kind of comes out as they're fighting. And they're really laying it into each other.
Oh, yeah.
But like over the course of the film, Gamma 1 and 2 have been able to kind of put some pieces together.
Right, and realize they were fighting for the wrong people.
Is that like our actual heroes of this film are like not actually the bad guys, or not as bad as
we've been made to believe.
Magenta has made them believe.
Yeah.
And like the guy that you're trying to, your boss, which is Dr. Hito, your creator, you're trying to like do good things for him, be a hero with, is like kind of ordering you around with like false narratives from Magenta. And it's like, oh, I see what's happening here. And like all of a sudden it all kind of clicks. And then
as soon as they put those pieces together, they're able to reconcile and realize their wrongdoings.
Right. We're actually not the heroes, and we're doing. And one big thing is obviously the fact that they've like kidnapped a child.
Right.
And like
good
threatening.
guys don't kidnap little girls.
Exactly. We're trying to threaten the life of this child to like.
I fucking love that bit.
Yeah.
This whole time, Pan has been pretending to be scared.
And
helpless because Piccolo told her to.
He even whenever they were getting into the helicopter or the plane or whatever it is, he is like, "Here, I'm gonna put these cuffs on you. Don't worry, you can break them at any time.
Right.
It's totally fine. But just pretend to be, pretend to be trapped or whatever." And she's like, "Okay, cool, sounds fun."
No, because I love so much that he believes like, okay, these are mostly just regular guys. You can handle them, no problem.
Oh, yeah, you could definitely handle yourself.
But in order to get your dad up to where he needs to be, he's got to believe that you're in trouble.
Right.
Which is so... It's kind of a roundabout way to...
It's a little manipulative, but obviously
but it needed to happen.
For your lazy student.
Motherfucker's been slacking too long.
He needs a kick in the pants.
Exactly.
And if the threatening of his child's life, even though she is 100% safe, is what it takes, so be it.
Yeah.
And of course, Gohan does like go Super Saiyan and like has this moment. And
he gets up to 2.
Yeah, right. Which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Nice to see him back in those shoes.
Right. But then, like I said, after they reconcile and everyone's all on the same page,
Magenta, flies off the handle and goes to activate Cell Max.
Right.
Which, of course, is the worst possible thing you could do at this point.
Because I'm pretty sure they say they don't really have full control of it yet.
Yeah, it's got no control system.
Right.
It's just going to be running amok.
It's just going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Feral. It should be just like run rampant. Crazy turn of events. Cell Max gets activated.
Right.
Magenta gets killed. By the
bee,
by the Chekhov's gun that was placed at the beginning of the film, the B-bot, which is kind of crazy because he like turns like a vicious green.
Oh yeah,
it looks
it's
like
a slow process.
It looks like he had jaundice for a second. It looked real bad. His eyes turn yellow, and it's like, dude, you're not good.
You're dead.
You're dead, buddy. But not before activating Cell Max. And then this is where. Like the climactic fight.
Oh yeah,
ends.
The final bout.
I mean, everyone's getting pushed to the limit, and this is that thing I was talking about. We're just ramping up. Each time you see somebody, they're like going into another level of like form.
Oh yeah,
they're like doing that next level of like we get like
steady progression.
We get the full power of Piccolo, which is like this orange yellow version of himself.
Right, the
and he's
super
like,
Namekian.
Dude. There's a moment before they
that
like reconcile.
First reveal, dude, is so fucking cool.
It's so good.
Motherfucker just turns into a brick shit house.
Oh yeah, he's just sitting there, and of course, Gamma 2 is like just punching him in the gut, and nothing's happening.
Nothing.
Whereas before, those punches were like kind of knocking him around. He is solid.
Yeah, he's like, okay, you done?
Yeah.
After that, he just throws one good haymaker, and that knocks him out.
Dunzo. Crazy.
Amazing.
But anyway, so there's obviously a whole lot of fighting going on.
Mm-hmm.
The Cell Alpha comes out, and its only weak spot is on the crown of its head.
Oh yeah, the cranium.
Right. And in they start fighting it, and in this crazy turn of events, Gamma 2 was like, I got this.
Right, he's getting them on the ends of their ropes, so he's like, okay, I'm just going to pull out my trump card real quick.
I'm going to just get the rest of my power, and I'll just fully use all of it.
A fucking meteor drop.
Yeah. I had jokingly said the what did I say? Oh, shit. Orbital strike.
Yeah.
It's just,
he turns into an ICBM.
Exactly. Just
for all
ready
intents and purposes.
Ready just to go full nuke status on this guy. So they're trying to keep them all at bay. And again, whenever the crown of the head gets broken, there's like a safety in there or something where the body blows up as well.
Right.
So it's
like
going to
a
be
self-destruct mechanism.
Right. So whoever potentially kills the thing may also go up with it.
Right.
So he's like, don't worry.
Sounds like a heroic sacrifice opportunity.
Exactly. And so he does, and in the process, blows off his left arm.
Yeah.
Cell
Max is able to block the blow with his forearm.
Right.
But of course, he's able to.
Yeah, to no avail.
He takes the whole thing off. Of course, he misses the mark for the head, unfortunately, but
he's able to fracture the dome.
Oh yeah.
So it's
a good bit. It's not going to take much more. We just got to really dig deep.
But the thing is, he's donezo.
Oh yeah.
It was all his power. It was all his effort.
No coming back from that, unfortunately. So now we just got to double down.
Right. And then after this epic sequence of there's just so much. There's bolts firing everywhere. There's people just it's a great
smacked every which way.
It's a beautiful sequence. There's even a moment whenever Piccolo grows in size.
Yeah, the growth technique.
That's another one of those things where oh yeah, I forgot I could do that.
Exactly.
And of course, Gohan's like, you're the same size as him. Maybe we could overcome. And he's like, well, I don't really.
I'm bigger, but I mean, I've still got the same amount of power. It's
right.
It's not going to be much more than that, unfortunately. Right. But if I can distract him long enough for you, to take this little sensor beam and grow up enough power to finish him off, then perfect.
Right.
So that's where that final bout begins.
Right.
Piccolo is doing his darndest.
Oh yeah.
To keep Cell Max at bay until Gohan is strong enough to land the killing blow.
Right.
And man, I don't think I've ever seen Piccolo get more beat up.
Oh yeah.
Than his fight with Android 17, way back in the Cell Saga. That shit was rough. But he is within an inch of his life right now.
Oh yeah.
Of course, seeing this Gohan snaps again and is able to enter. I think it's called Beast. Is what that form is called?
Interesting.
Where his hair grows.
Right.
As if you couldn't see that coming. But it's a silver color. His pupils are fucking red. It's freaky stuff.
Yeah. There's that moment whenever all of his friends also try to conglomerate on Cell Max and also get beat
on his own. Piccolo's not going to last long, so everybody jumps in.
Right, but they all kind of get thrown by the wayside, so they're all gone, and of course Piccolo is getting beat up, and Gohan's I can do it, or trying to say something.
Just need a little more time.
Right, he's I can hold him off, and of course there's that. What feels like a final death blow, and of course, a crazy sequence where he's just holding Piccolo's what you'd imagine his carcass is.
Yeah,
it's just screaming. I made a joke when we were watching about it reminds me of whenever Unit 1 is ascending.
Yeah.
And of course, there's like that moment where like his eyes are just like voids, and his gaping maw is open, just like it's like he's just making that, and it's like holy shit, I don't know what we're dealing with, but this is otherworldly.
Got to put it down now.
Yeah, we got to do some work right now. And of course, like all the power, like all the aura around Gohan just like fades away. And you're like, oh no, dude, don't give up now.
Don't let go, man.
And then this like red spiral happens in his eyes, and it's like, oh
and then
shit.
Boom. The new form awakens.
Oh yeah.
And these are always like the hallmark moments in the series. Like
because this is the climax right here.
Of course. As soon as the circumstances are at their most dire, that's when these characters are able to push past their limits.
Right. And I know you. And if there's anything I know about Dylan, is Dylan loves it getting pushed beyond your limits moment.
Yes. Especially as it applies to machines. I enjoy it when like flesh and blood people do it as well.
Yeah.
Goku being a prime example for me. But man, it's so nice.
There's a great moment where after Gohan transforms, Cell Max goes in for this right gut punch. That feels like, and again, his fist is the size of Gohan's body, just to put things into perspective,
like a big ass boulder.
So he punches, and you see this
like the
dirt,
shockwave from the punch.
Well, at first, whenever you see it, like there's just this dust in a column behind, and you're like, man, Gohan just got hit real hard into the wall.
and then of course the dust, just motionless.
The dust settles, and he's just standing there.
He's just standing
and just
there.
held back the punch.
And he's like, "Oh, is that all you got?"
And it's like, what a
my turn.
What a moment.
Yeah, he kicks this dude.
Oh man,
into the wall, and just puts him on his ass.
Oh yeah.
And of course he's like, "Oh okay." Yeah. So he pulls out the old Frieza gambit and just makes a big ass death ball.
Yeah.
And then condenses it down. Like this thing is the size of a small moon.
Right.
Whenever you see it like zoomed out in orbit. But he's getting ready to throw this thing at Gohan, and then we get Piccolo, the motherfucker, pulling it back.
Right. Not dead yet.
Oh no. He's got more.
Right.
He's able to restrain Cell Max long enough for Gohan to charge up the Makanko Sapo beam, or as in the dub, it's called the Special Beam Cannon.
Love it.
Nice little callback to Piccolo's signature move, other than the Hell Zone Grenade, which
that's a cool name.
Is the fucking coolest name for an attack.
I like a good Hell Zone Grenade.
It's so cool. But he's able to charge it up, beams it straight through the guy's dome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that's it.
Dunzo.
Explodes.
Right.
With the power of several atom bombs, it looks like.
Right.
Everyone's barely able to make it out. And the day is saved.
Love it.
True heroics were never seen.
Right. And then, of course, there's like this lovely, touching moment with Gamma 1 and Hito, where they're like at the remains of Gamma 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like his body like disintegrates into ash and like floats away. And it's like, man, without saying without saying any words, it's like some of the most heroic people were right there. Really sacrificing it all. It's really interesting to see.
Yeah.
So
good stuff.
Piccolo does a good job. He's like, hey, we wouldn't have done it without Gamma 2. We couldn't have done it without either one of you guys. Like your help was a lot.
The Doctor is, of course, ridden with guilt and is like, I'm just going to take my creation and I'm going to turn myself in. It's like, what happened?
Because he was like, I created Cell Max. And then I also...
this whole situation is my fault.
Right. The fact that I also like lost Gamma 2 because of it was like, all of it's my fault. And he's like, everyone tries to kind of make him feel better. It's like, well, you were kind of fed false information.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
He's like,
you were just used.
Yeah.
Everybody's been used at some point. But they give him a little pat on the back, and Bulma is able to
oh God,
have him hired into Capsule Corp in the event that he is able to create some sort of miracle cosmetic that prevents wrinkles from forming.
Because if there's one thing we know about Bulma, she's vain.
Yes. Ever.
Right.
Always trying to keep her youthful glow going.
Of course.
unfortunately, to the detriment of everyone else, it feels like.
Right.
But yeah, the day is saved.
What a lovely conclusion.
I love the shots at the end where you see Vidal get home and she just sees the crater that left the front half of their house just sloped downward. She's freaking out.
Right. Little post-credit scene is the fight being concluded with one last, I wouldn't even call it a punch, I'd call it a push.
Right.
From Vegeta on
shove.
Goku's chest to knock over Goku.
And Vegeta finally scores a win.
He's like, I finally bested you, Kakarot. Ugh, it just falls over.
Right.
Both pass out.
Uh-huh.
Great.
Good stuff.
And of course, Beerus is just asleep.
Again. For God knows how long.
Is that just something he does?
Oh, yeah, he sleeps for ridiculous amounts of time.
Is there like a reason? Because that just he's...
I can only assume it's because of all the energy he expends, if at all.
I see.
Being a god of destruction is no easy task, I'm sure you may be aware.
Right.
But more often than not, he's just a layabout.
Right.
A freeloader, it feels like.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, Whis is just his babysitter.
There you go.
But, yeah. As a whole, what'd you think?
I loved it.
Yeah.
The animation was like super cool. I love the whole... I love seeing a little bit more about characters I didn't really know about. I thought it was a very touching movie about, of course, like heroics and just like self-sacrifice and stuff, and pushing yourself beyond your limits. Like I'm pretty sure any Dragon Ball movie is, or anything regarding Dragon Ball.
That's what it's all about.
But anyways, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it's a fun time,
man. Now, since you brought it up, we gotta get Kobe on here for the rest of the movies, dude. I have all of the other movies. We haven't done an episode on any of the original films either.
I kind of want to ask him what he wants to watch too, because I want to see what I know he probably has. He probably has some sort of deep cut or something.
Oh, I'm sure.
He probably has something he want to talk about.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But anyways, for those of you looking to reach out to us, we have a link tree /Ian Wolf where you can find all of our links or ways to reach out to us or email us. And,
should you so desire.
Just type in the aftermath. You should be able to find us. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Or you can go onto your local moon and find the god of whatever moon there is. And of course, ask him nicely. It helps you bring food.
Yes.
But he'll give the podcast to you.
Beg if you have to.
Of course. Or if you go to your local prison, there is probably a super intelligent person that can build a small bug bot.
Yeah.
A little bee-bot.
That will project the podcast.
Exactly.
Into your mind.
Right into your ear. It's lovely. But anyways, until next week, thank you so much for listening.
See you.
Bye-bye.